Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So this video is DPS test between all the spits on Blade Master. So actually for sure I did this before this patch before, and actually since was too far between the spit as example and the fire and lightning and fire was a bit closer to each other, but actually there's a lot of changes happen. So the spit maybe a lot better than before, also fire a lot better, and also lightning got buff itself. So we will talk about all of this away from we begin to talk about this before on another video when I begin to make the state change patch video. So you can check this on the eye information, you can see it. So anyway, before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Let's begin this. First of all, let me make a small reminder for what happened on this patch on Blade Master in general. So for fire, what happened was on Trupo Haran, actually there is some for sure changes made it better, and also on the Searing Force here it's actually 3k% from 900%, so that's too much damage. And for third spit also there is some changes happen to Trupo Haran Soul Shield, also it made it stronger on a lot of skills, especially your right click. And for lightning as well, it have a buff on a lot of things away from something actually I don't like. Also the buff came on Trupo Haran Soul Shield as well. And the bad point actually I didn't like, normally I was using 10 shots for braid, so this one is not working now as a braid. The braid now is in your that. So if I will try to say, so go like this here, this one is your braid. It's doing 20%, that's not a bad number, but actually it's a bit hard to use. So if I will say I want to use this, how you have to use it. So let me go first for the spit as example. So I will say we will go like this, okay, normal rotation and everything is okay, and go again, then go 1 2 3 and go 1 2 3. Then I press my Z, it's the end of my rotation anyway, so I don't have any problem. So if you can do this always and do your rotation well and you have the timing, you can memorize it like this, you can press your Z and you have no problem with this. Sadly I didn't make any DPS test before this patch, and I can't trust what happened because sadly someone told me there is no skill patch on this one. So actually I didn't record anything but just tested once my third spit. So actually the result was like what you can see at the moment. So it's going for 18 million DPS. When I did this, for sure my lightning was super higher than this, and actually my fire also was super higher than this. So the only change you can see from before to what is happening now is from third spit when I put the three of them together next to each other. So that's the only one you can see the DPS from there. Or actually after I looked to what I recorded, so actually sadly I was putting my DPS here. So if I put it 3 next to each other, so you can see the DPS. If I can feel it can happen, I will make it. If not, I will begin to talk or begin to make them one by one. Will not make for sure the full DPS test, but just show you first part and the last part. If it's working well, I have no problem with this, and we will begin to work normally. Another thing, by the way, normally can make a problem for me even if I made the record for before and after the patch because of soul lead. So I lost a lot of things. So if you can look to my attack power, I am not 4k as I was because soul lead is now not here. So the 200 attack power I had here is not here. Also the critical damage and the mystic that I had because of this, also I don't have it, but I got some small upgrades after this. So it can maybe make some changes like I wait in 3 here, and also here run for stage 4. Some also changes going for some other items. So all of this maybe can make things a bit closer to each other. But anyway, what we will check for this is simply the small difference, if there is a normal small difference between third spit before and after. So actually you should see something, you will feel it a lot different than what it had before for third spit. So normally my items will not do that big different for sure, and for others you will see them as they are for sure next to each other. So we can see fire versus light versus third spit, and everything will be good. So let's begin and watch this, and we will talk after the results. So as you saw, Sir Respect team on the last place as always was 111 million DPS 111, and for Lightning as always was the better. It actually wasn't better by far. From Fire it was 133, and for Fire was 131. So actually this test I made it without any breach, without anything. But what will happen if I change things? So if I will say I will go with Fire and I will choose spits like this, so I have to break, and I can break before this time. For sure I was aiming for 20 billion as always from the HP from the boss. So what will happen if I can break and actually do some damage? So let me show you what happened when this happened. So as you saw, my DPS went a bit higher on Fire, actually maybe beated my Lightning a bit. But if I will say I could do 133 million with Lightning, if I say I can break the dummy as example, if I can do a break, so for sure I will do a far damage higher than this Fire. Maybe I can reach something like 136 or anything like this, maybe 35. Anyway, it should be higher a bit than Fire. So if I would say you are on dungeons, for sure Fire can help you doing a good breaks away from Lightning. Can't help you that much as Fire, because Fire can make you do this faster. Maybe you can break a boss maybe more than one time as you are fighting, for sure with the help of your friends on your party. You are not the only one who is doing the break, by the way. So maybe you can do it 2 times when you are playing Fire, and for Lightning maybe you will not do it anyway. So this is maybe a small change or a small difference between both of them. So if I will say Fire maybe can be a better on tanking because it will be a bit easier. Third Respect maybe can be higher on easier or a lot easier than both of them, and that's for sure. Not sure how it will go for Third Respect when I go for dungeon and actually begin to fight and have a break as example. So maybe when I get a break and begin to attack, so maybe my DPS can grow up a lot. So I'm not sure how it will go for Third Respect on this. And for Lightning, for sure, as it's always doing a good damage, but it have a bad problem when some bosses is moving, and as example you put your blade crawl and you find the boss is jumping, so blade crawl going on the air or nothing, so you lose 3 flash steps, and with the lose 4 flash steps, for sure your DPS will go down a lot. Maybe I can give it a try at the moment. Let's go for dungeons and maybe make small check for what can happen. So as you can see, I went to Chimera Lab with the same party. So I played multi with another party for sure, so I can have the same damage from my party and try to see how things will go. So first, as you can see, I'm playing with Lightning and I'm doing now on the 90 million DPS average, and actually this one is good because this dungeon not easy to do damage on it. And when I went to play with Fire actually did so bad damage as you can see, but I can maybe do a bit better than this, but maybe I will not reach 70 million as example. And also what I found about Fire, maybe it's not always doing good damage, it's away from what you can see on the dummies on dungeon like this, but from another point it's good when you want to do better breaks or you want to make faster break for sure for a boss or anything like this. For Third Respect, as you can see, it's actually doing better damage than Fire and lower than Lightning, because this starter or this spit especially doing some good damage when it comes to doing damage for bosses that got any break or anything like this, also because of the resist, so it was doing better than what I expected. So I can say Lightning doing better than Third Respect on dungeon like this than Fire for sure. I think that's enough. Maybe we now understand how it's doing for Blade Master and all of this. So with this, it's the end of our video. So thank you for watching, guys. Soon I will make some other characters also for this By the way, I have musician 10 David attest because musician actually I didn't delete any items changed from before and after the patch. Actually maybe I will lose also small buff from soul lead. It was like 100 attack power, not sure how much was theoretical, maybe 50 500 or something like this. So I don't expect that will make a bit different, maybe 1 million or 2 million DPS. So for sure if I make a DPS test and find the difference is better than this, that can be the bit different on the debuff happens to character like this. So until this day, thank you for watching guys and see ya in the next video. Bye bye.
Sometimes I wonder, will we be around to see forever on the silver cloud? Sometimes when you're here